Sponsored by Women Technology. Take advantage of our end of summer promotion, offering a $30 off bundle discount on the whole test takeout panel controls through September 2021.
Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing wonderfully well. We've just got access to a new aeroplane, the Mosquito, and we have a mission. What's today's mission, Artie?
Right, good evening everybody. This is a semi-historical reenactment mission of the raid on Scapa Flow on the 16th of March 1940. Scapa Flow is one of the world's great natural harbours and the home of the Royal Navy's home fleet in both World War I and World War II, and that made Orkney a prime target for German attack. So on the evening of the 16th of March 1940, arguably the first World War II raid against UK soil was directed against Orkney and its defending Royal Naval Air Station HMS Sparrowhawk, which is on the outskirts of Kirkwall, about a mile from the centre of Kirkwall. Arguably because there were a number of raids as early as October 1939. There was one on, in fact, the fleet in October 1939, during which HMS Norfolk was slightly damaged. So there's some argument about which was the first raid, but generally, certainly in Orkney, this is considered to be the first raid against UK soil. This raid resulted in the first UK and Empire civilian death of World War II, one James Isbister, who in fact found father of my friend Neil Isbister, who died this year, and in fact I've done this mission in memory of him. Neil was a small child and was present as his father was blown through his house door by a German bomb. Orkney had one of the first of the chain home radar stations, called Netherbutton, from late 1930 onwards, but it wasn't considered reliable or effective until July 1940, so too late to help Orkney for this raid. So defence of the islands depended upon eyes, ears on reconnaissance from patrol aircraft, Navy and civilian shipping. This mission we've had to make some compromises for. First off, not surprisingly, are the types of aircraft. The Royal Naval Air Service at the time had the Swordfish, the Doubtable Swordfish, the Grumman Avenger, and the Blackburn Skua, none of which obviously we have in DCS, so I'd love the Swordfish to be in DCS one day. So we are substituting the Warbird, single-engine Warbirds that we have. So we've got P-51s, we've got P-47s, and we've got the Spitfire, and also we've got the T-51 for reconnaissance so that we can be inclusive. So anybody can fly, even if they haven't bought a Warbird. On the German side, we have got the 190D9, the 109K4, the 190A8, and standing in for the BF110, ME110 as it's also known, we're using the Mosquito. So basically, if you see anything two-engined in this, it's German, even though obviously the Mosquito doesn't have any non-RAF skins yet. So ignore the RAF roundels. The Germans are just being sneaky on that. The second compromise is the weather. The weather in Orkney would have been a lot more extreme than we have here. I've toned it right down. So we've just got a wind of 10 knots at low level coming in from the northeast. So takeoff on runways will be in a northeasterly direction. The last compromise is actually the time of the mission. The actual raid happened after dark, shortly after dark, which to some extent accounts for the extraordinary lack of success in terms of hitting the intended targets that the Germans had here, because they basically couldn't see them. So I've taken pity on us here and moved it forward pretty much an hour. So you'll be flying this about an hour before sunset. So you'll start off with light, but you'll get in through twilight, and by the time you land, it'll be sunset. It'll be getting dark. That's assuming anybody survives. Okay, if you'd like to just have a look at the potential targets Right. What this is an overview of the main island. This is on the Marianas map. More trees than Orkney has got, but actually there are palm trees in Orkney, so it's not totally silly. And so we have a number of potential targets. Now, I do not know what Red are going to choose to attack. You can choose to attack anything that you see on here that's marked as a target. So we've got obviously HMS Sparrowhawk itself, the airfield, and we'll have a look in a bit more detail in a minute at this. We've got the Highland Park Distillery and the Scapa Distillery, and if you strike those, then that's sure to have a severe morale effect upon the local troops, I would think. We have the Nether Button radar station, which, as I said at the time, was not really operational, but is there as a nice target. And then next to HMS Sparrowhawk, we've got an ammunition store. So if you strike that, you'll probably get lots of boom boom. And there's also a fuel storage depot nearby as well, marked on that map. And of course, there is the fleet itself for the criminally insane. So if we look at the target detail tab, we'll just have a closer view of each of these targets. So HMS Sparrowhawk, you've got the runways, you've got parked aircraft, you've got parked trucks, and you've also got some moving vehicles running around the perimeter track. Obviously, be aware that the airfield, well, everything here is in relatively close proximity to the fleet, and you really probably don't want to annoy the fleet. So if you scroll down, here's a close-up of the ammunition store just by the side of the main runway there. A nice potential target. Similarly, here's the fuel storage area. The fuel storage here was actually fuel storage for the fleet. On the island of Hoy here in Orkney, there's or was a naval base, and that as part of that naval base, they dug tunnels into the hills and built huge fuel storage tanks underground in the hills, and they're still there to this day. Okay, working on down, there's the Highland Park Distillery. Again, just an optional target there. There's the Nether Button radar station, fairly easily visible from a long distance up on top of the hill. And then scrolling on down, you get to the Scapa Distillery as well, which is slightly further south, and hence it's Highland Park that holds the crown of being the world's most northerly whiskey distillery. They're both very nice tipples. And then if you think you're hard enough, there is the fleet. The fleet, obviously, if you wake it up, is liable to get annoyed, and that's a lot of potential flak and AAA coming up from the fleet. So be careful. Don't linger too long if you're red over the targets, and try to avoid going directly over the fleet. The final tab, we have actually in the game James Icebister's house, who was the first civilian casualty. He is not one of your targets, but you never know what might happen. It was a stray bomb probably that took him out in real life. It could happen again. Okay, that basically is the briefing. I would suggest, Cap, if you go through the flights, and then I would suggest you split into red and blue voice channels just to discuss what you're going to do. For blue has to decide how it's going to use its flights, what it's going to protect, and red needs to decide what it's going to attack and how.
Roger. We've got for the Brits the Kittiwake group, which are P-51s today, Tuxor, Whistler, Centillion, Harrier flying Mustangs, Blight and Grump, Phalarope flying Jugs, Obi, Merlin, Spitfires, Space Chef Red Shrak, Rail, Empty, Puffin, Artie and the Spit, and the wonderful desirable Germans, Avoche in the Dora, Jigsaw Bean, which we now know is, actually I'm not going to spoil it, Bonksy, Fulma, Empty, Redshank Empty, Shrike in the Kurfürst, Squiddle, Stoat, Chopsticks and Signore, and Skewer in the BF-109 or the Mosquito, Skillcap, Sock, and Ali B. Right, guys.
All these flight names, by the way, are actual Orkney birds that you will find around the place.
And why is this of particular interest to you, Artie? Because
They're out there and we see them every day. And in particular, some of these, like the bonksy, which is actually the local name for the Arctic skewett, you do not want to mess with.
Roger.
They've got severe attitude.
And Artie lives there, by the way. Right, Reds to Red, go. Right, guys. Reds, I quite liked to bomb. Let me just go and find the
radar station.
The radar station, yeah, north of the island.
Roger.
Cap, have you got the new board I sent with a route from Anderson up to the Sparrowhawk?
I'll go and install that in a second. Scapa Distillery is quite far, quite easy to spot. Okay, how about this, guys? Radar station, yeah. And if we have success on that, secondary Scapa Distillery, which is like right next to it, and it's like a big tech combine, and it's probably the only thing here that's actually going to explode with the type of bombs that we're carrying. So take note of that also. But we'll start with the aerial, and we'll probably say if a bomb hits the aerial, it's dead, because DCS physics, they probably won't blow up. You know what it's like.
So radar station and Scapa?
Yeah, and for God's sake, be careful not to run into the wires or the towers, because especially in the big twin engine things, they're not very manoeuvrable.
Are Reds air spawning?
No, I hope not.
Oh, that would be.
There's some AI that I think will be.
Right, I was just looking at the map with the obviously with the arrows, but I take it we're taking off from Tinian then, I guess.
If we're going as blob, can mosquitoes lead, please? Because we're slow compared to you guys. You know, this is an early 40s versus you guys with your super machines. So we'll have skill leading everyone, and then you lot can go off a wing. And then the real German planes, when you're ready to, you know, kind of overtake us and go and do things, you let us know and off you go. Any other questions, I suppose?
How much fuel are we going to need for this?
Say again?
How much fuel are we going to need for this?
I don't know, but I would have hoped...
Right, I've done a calculation for the Mozzie. If we put 50% in the Mozzie, that will give you 59 gallons in the outer tanks and 40 gallon in the inner tanks in each tank. But remember, in the Mozzie, it'll hot start in the outer tanks, and when those are empty, the engines will stop if you do not move those fuel levers to the main tanks.
Right. Okay, guys, let's do our checks. And outer check. Pressurized check. 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 Guys, I'm going to arm my bombs up now. So you need master gun arm on. Shit. Need to do that.
Are you trying to arm up?
Yeah, I'm arming the bombs now.
Copy.
Guys, confirm you've got the changeover switch down. It won't work without that.
Yeah, you need your gun arm on, your changeover switch on, whichever bombs you're planning on dropping on, and your fusing armed.
Agreed. Okay, and that's all done. Done. Got fuel in the tank. Don't forget to change over. That, sir, I think, is a fully started Mosquito. Hey, baby, girlfriend Vietnam. Hey, boys.
Stop rolling.
My plane's bigger than yours. Radiators on. Check. I'm so lost. Where's the runway? Where's the freaking runway, boys?
It's right in front of you as you come out your hangar there. Straight ahead. Just
My engines are on fire. And I've barely done anything, so I'm going to ignore it.
yeah, it's just a bit steamy. I'm on the runway with my nav lights on the left hand side of the runway.
Right.
Stop. If you're on the runway, stop. You're going to hit me.
For God's sake, don't forget to call Bombay open, because I will forget to open it. And you all know how that ends.
It ends with someone saying how embarrassing for you.
Don't worry, guys. All of the Grim Reaper's missions start with us on fire, as you can see from the mosquitoes. Right, I think that's all here. Skill, take off and get in the left circuit. Not too fast, please. There's no guarantee that he hasn't left wake turbines on, so bear that in mind. Okay, valued viewers, absolutely nothing could go wrong with this. Cap rolling. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Steady. Keep us steady. Keep us steady. Going to left, sir. Oh, getting onto the grass. Oh God! I've got no friggin' rudder authority. Everything's fine.
We'll bring it back to 2650 RPM and about 8 pounds of boost at the minute.
It's my first combat takeoff.
Left hand orbit.
I've got rudder authority. All is. We're airborne! We made it! It's a wonderful feeling, valued viewers. Okay, going to 9 psi boost. Must not wreck engines. Must not wreck engines. Don't worry about the wee bit of smoke, valued viewers. It'll burn off.
throttles up, smooth. Positive rate, gear going up. Visualizing trim.
Bit of a handful in formation.
Just correcting left slightly.
How's the rest of you lot doing?
Fog's doing good.
The one on I play in the rear. We're going to transition to high cover here, so we're going to get a climb in and get above you guys.
Hold on.
Scota, you were calling us to tell us about going to top cover. I was just saying, we haven't, this is the Dora group, we haven't heard from the mosquitoes. I don't know if they're on this channel. Mosquitoes are here. Mosquitoes are here.
Signori was hearing mosquitoes on Discord also, that's how we knew what they were doing.
Okay, copy that.
Sounds like they got us, yeah, just we're gonna be above you guys. It doesn't mean don't, close your eyes. Doesn't keep your eyes open, let us know if you see anything. We still have bombs too, so our primary mission is to deliver the bombs, but, we're just gonna put ourselves in a position of advantage, so.
bloody hell is Darth Vader doing on the net? Is that the island ahead skill?
It's Tinian Island, we're going on to Saipan, so it's the first of the next 2 islands, yeah.
Hold on. Can anyone hear some really weird noises on the net?
Yes.
Intolerable noises. How do we find out who it is?
So like somebody's hot micing anyway.
They're breathing much too regularly. They should have a much lower breathing rate. There are no odds of completing this mission. Even if there were no baddies, there are no odds of completing this mission. I've almost died twice already just friggin' trying to get to formation.
What do you think when we get to the Tinian Island? Do you want to go low level for the run in towards the target island?
Aye aye. Remember, if you go web, I can't keep up.
Yeah, Roger, I'll keep it slow.
I think the sun's going down, boys.
There goes my sun, doo-doo-doo-doo.
It does, damn. Yes, it does. Well, these bombers are loud. Loud bombers, boys. Big, loud bombers. Everyone double check. Lights off, please.
Yeah, needs lights off. Second thoughts, we might just sneak under the clouds once we get over Tinian.
Interesting to see how fast we get compared to the baddies.
Shark, lights off. About 5 gallons each by the time about 2-3 minutes ago switched over to centre tanks.
Cap's already on main tanks.
How do you change over tanks?
There's 2 latches behind the seat. You need to go to the other guy's position and look behind you. There's 2 rotary switches that need to go from outboard to main.
Copy.
Damn fool's out of formation. In the clouds, baby.
Looks like to the left.
They won't be shooting us in here.
We're just on the underside of the clouds, just skimming across the bottom.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So where's where, guys? I'm lost. There's that, there's that, there's that. Okay. Cloud cover's not very thick, guys.
No, just wait till we got under it and then broke up.
I think low is the way to go here. I think low was the way to go here, guys. I'm having a second thought about this. I don't know if I mentioned my thoughts, but I think low is the way to go. Plus side, the more fuel we
Next
burn.
big island will be flying over the left-hand corner of that, then turn in 060 towards target.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we're going to the far side of the island, aren't we, if we're going for the antennas?
Yeah, John. That's the general head towards the target area. Should be able to see the antennas on the sort of high ridge once we get close enough.
Yeah. I really want to check my fuel gauges, guys, but I can't because this thing is so unstable in formation.
In fact, I've got video on from here, so...
Beautiful.
All flights, this is door flight. Spotted contact just off our nose, dead ahead, above the islands, just below cloud level.
Roger. That was good.
Yeah, I've got visual on those contacts ahead of us, just over the second island.
It is actually trimmed, I've just checked. I think it's lead.
Can you copy that?
Lead's going up and down, I think is what it is.
Yeah, okay for copy. We have no tally on any bandits right now. Thank you. Roger being from the Mosey, but yeah, I've had a visual on those as we were coming in.
Here comes the sun, hurrah. I just realised I've got about 5% more power on my right engine than my left because of how my throttle sits.
Well, bogies are passing left to right towards the harbour area on target island.
Yeah?
Yeah, one we're flying high, the other one flying low.
Tally?
Yeah, this has been, I've also got target about 11 o'clock, quite high. Is it really aircraft? I can't tell from this distance. I would say we're talking about ships.
Score a tally on the enemy fleet in the bay. It looks like 20 plus vessels, so just watch out, don't fly over that. It's going to be a nightmare.
Copy.
I've got a ship off tower at 11 o'clock. I don't know if it's going to be armed or not. So
does anyone else see the potential target above the clouds on my 11 o'clock?
Chicks up, copy, yeah.
Aussies move line of stern.
Huge rook.
Several contacts now ahead of us, and another ship off our nose in between the two islands. The radar towers are directly off our nose on this heading. We can just assume that they are supposed to wait until everyone flights are on in loadout and then joining us fighting.
Okay.
Might be an idea to turn off your navigation lights. Alright, K4 flight is receiving flag fire now, guys.
Aussies, do your final checks, get everything ready to drop.
Spaceship Paddy engaging.
Big ship to the north-northeast is fighters only. Looks like they're decoys. They're not really acting.
Yeah, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Because we're not. Fighters aren't going to do any damage to the fleet or the island. So I would head back to the main island.
Receive track returning.
Copy, ship returning to the fleet.
Rep returning to the fleet, looking out to the northwest. Heads up, got Tally at fourth ship now off to the 050 from the bay. Angel's looking about Angel's 3 or 4.
Right, reflector sight on check. Fuel has been checked. Gear flaps good. When are we opening bomb? When are we opening bomb bays, boss?
At your own discretion. Just remember, everybody, and do that before you want to drop your bombs.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Okay, group of 6 to the south is diving.
Yeah, Tally. Tally, well, Francis. Let us know if you see any bombers.
Yeah, what's that group right there that you're engaging? Is those fighters?
They're the Mafia.
Copy. Rep's got eyes on him. Going low. I'm gonna engage him.
Check.
There's an enemy fighter coming in on R6 now. Something's swooping in from the west.
Full power!
You guys want the K4 flight to fly ahead and strike, or you guys want us to wait for you guys? Something's coming in from 7 o'clock.
Mozzie's under attack.
Is it one of you?
Mozzie's under attack. We're getting shot. Every man for themselves.
Our target's getting real low to ground to the water.
Ships opening up on them. It's a bit offshore, hard to see. We could do some cover. Alright, we're coming in.
Captaining the aerial.
Yeah, skills on the deck, over the waves, heading for the radar site. Take care, 1 off, 2 o'clock. 109 to descending, we're gonna come help you guys out.
really accurate shot. Just killed my engine immediately. Not done fighting though. Oh, he's coming after me. Motherfucker. Must be Cap.
Flash 1.
Killed my engine. God damn, dude.
Right, RC engaging with D9. Whistler picked up a bomber northwest left.
Damn it.
Splash 1 word.
Well done. First Mozzie here to air kill.
No, he's still up. Just stop smoking now. Fire got flashed.
Well done.
Senora, right below us, P-51. Fog is down. I'm up my way, right on the coastline there.
Submarine, that's a submarine.
Okay, go have up skill, get the P-51.
That's Mishka line. How long does it take to get to friggin' Scapa flow? My engines are not happy, they're not happy at all, sir. Oh, shot! Cap getting shot!
Flash 1, P-51. Splash 1, P-51.
Some idiot with his gear out. Not giving up. Not giving up. Stop it!
Everybody keep checking your 6. We're all merged.
Has been shot down on one engine. God damn it. Why does this take so long to get to? Cap's on fire. Fuck off. Weird driver.
Yeah, you got them coming back in towards level P-51 that was engaging Mozzie. Yeah, it's just been off the right wing of the Mozzie.
Wrong way doors open. Wrong way. Tipping up diving.
Not sure who it is, but I'll try and give you a cover.
Feather. Oh my god, the engine snapped off! Fuck!
That's escorting mosquitoes. Mosquitoes low level blast, passing a ship between 2 islands under attack. then. Yeah. P51 quiet. Let him suffer. Hey, sorry, I'm just gonna run. Okay, I'm turning support. Turning into him. Yep, I got you clear. I'll see ya. Looks like he's stalling. Confirm strike on radar. Strike 1 radar. I just tagged the Spitfire, it's still flying. I'm alive, but every part of my plane has a hole in it. And I've got a Spitfire on my tail trying to get me, but I'm just staying fast. Yeah, right over the middle of the island, clear out. I'll try to drag him up to slow him down for you. Alright, I'm bringing him into the vertical. Excellent. Alright, hide in the basement or something. Yeah. Visual. I'm gonna recommit. I don't know if my plane will hold together though. Okay, I'll try to get up high. He's turning hard. Alright. Yep. I'm staying above him. I'm taking fucking flight fire. Jesus Christ. Okay. I may want to extend and make a dive on him. Oh, you're doing good. Keep shooting. See if he straightens out. I think you lost visual on you. I'm diving on him right now. I don't have a lot of roll authority though because my plane's so messed up. Alright, I need to keep pulled back into a turn. I'm climbing back up. I think I might have a fuel leak.
little bit, still flying. That's our team is getting out of here. It's just us. Yeah. Yeah, probably. You got a 51 in the spit on you, it looks like. Oh, that's not good. Oh, it's a blackhead, gee. That's not good. That's a good way to go. I've got a hole in my left wing. Yeah, it's probably critical.
Oh, I'm going to try and make it back home.
Welcome back, valued humans. Right, so that was ugly for me, but Artie, what was actually achieved?
Right, well, the German side was somewhat more successful in this mission than happened in real life.
Brilliant.
I'm sure that there being a bit of light helped for that. But looking at the damage assessment, there was a bomb on the main runway on HMS Sparrowhawk, I can see. The Scapa distillery was destroyed. The Highland Park distillery was destroyed, so unfortunately it's going to be a bit of a dry year in Auckland. Oof. The Nether Button radar site was also destroyed.
Excellent.
That's okay, the barracks bootleg
Store and the fuel stores were not damaged, or not noticeably. So pretty successful. No damage to the fleet, though I will say that there is a U-boat which has been damaged by the Blue Defenders, but is still operational and is closing in on the fleet, so is quite likely to do some damage to the fleet when it gets in torpedo range. Though that said, there are a couple of naval guns on the headlands near the fleet, which I'm sure will do some severe damage to that U-boat once it gets in range. But all in all, I think quite successful for the red side.
Well done, guys. Just watching us go.
Huzzah! Yeah, that's a pretty tense mission.
Right, group by group, just very quickly, guys. So, start with the Reds, because K4s, I think, were first.
Go ahead, Squirtle.
Yeah, okay. So we were gonna try to drop some bombs. I don't know if we dropped any. Did we drop any bombs, K4s?
We did.
Did we hit anything?
Yeah, I hit the main building of the airport.
Nice.
Okay.
Good.
So Chop Six did some damage with his bombs. The rest of our flight, I know me and Signore, and I think Stoat as well. We went up to high cover with Chopsticks as well early on, just because we were worried about getting jumped. And we got the Mosquitoes got attacked. I'm sorry, the BF-110s, ME-110s, and then we went ahead and dropped our bombs and went to cover, and we proceeded to dogfight for the rest of the mission.
Roger. Next group, Focke-Wulfs.
Basically the same thing for us. So we got jumped quick right at the beginning and needed to drop our bombs, dogfighting, and yeah, basically that's it.
Roger. Mozzies.
Yeah, took off through the route. Just as we were descending towards the kind of target area, we got jumped into the in a bit of a scrap, and I don't think any of us made it to the actual target we were going for.
Mozzi's good, but when it's loaded up with bombs, it's pretty slow. There was some weapon,
Yeah.
I was struggling about 250 miles an hour.
Yeah. In the lighting conditions we had there, it was definitely a mistake to fly at any sort of altitude because you stood out like a sore thumb against the evening sky. Low altitude was the trick for this one.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, Blues, regale us of your stories.
Right, first as a general overview, Blue started off engaging Schnell boats and the U-boat that were identified around the islands, but switched role to air once we started hearing some reports from the shipping of sightings of aircraft. The initial report we got was a group coming in from the northeast. That was investigated, but turned out that it was correctly diagnosed by Blue as being a bit of a red herring flight. There were no bombers in it, so in the end it was ignored. There was then identified a group of bombers coming in from the northwest, which were engaged, and I'll let the individual groups talk about those. And then also your group from the south was spotted coming in as well and were engaged. So, Kittiwake, Mustangs.
Take your time, boys. Got all the time in the world. That's sarcasm.
Duxer, Whistler,
Okay,
Centillion.
guess I'll speak up. We took off like normal, did some air recon, reacted to some things already put up, like the Schnell boats and U-boat. I can't speak for their specific accomplishments, but as for myself, some unsuccessful attacks on the U-boat, damaged it but not sunk. Schnell boat was sunk by somebody else, I think. And then we congregated over the fleet for the most part to enjoy those big guns as cover, which I later took advantage of. I spotted a series of bombers coming in from the north and the west, raided those out. Some people responded, others were already involved, did what we could. I took out one bomber down myself and another one heavily damaged. And got picked up by Signore, who chased me out. The fleet took him off my tail, and I made a final crashing ditch on the runway because my gear had been shot out.
I remember that.
Roger, anyone else?
Tuxor, Centillion, want to say anything?
I got my Schnell boat on the first, after we did our patrols. We saw that Schnell boat, I managed to get him, destroy him. And then I went south for the high group of 109s, I think they were. They were a bit too fast for me for where I was, so I ended up following a Mozzie, I think, 110, and it was me and a couple of others, I think, chasing Ali all at the same time. Three of us chasing.
Yeah, that was so funny. He survived so long.
And then Squirtle arrived behind me and promptly killed me.
He'll do that.
Sorry.
Next group, guys.
Thank you, Squirrel.
Okay, well,
Revenge is sweet.
I'll go in the P-47. I just took off, potted around for a bit, went and fired some rockets at the U-boat, damaged it. It damaged me, so went and landed rearmed and repaired, and then headed south on the guys that were already up were really good at spotting aircraft and heard the flight coming in from the south, and then dived down, got in behind the Mosquitoes and shot down UCAP.
Oh,
and then
brilliant.
Feeling very happy about myself, flying straight and level, and I think either Squirtle or Signori obviously came and murdered me then because I was too busy just flying in a straight line enjoying myself. Not that they wouldn't have murdered me anyway, in fairness, but and that was it. But very enjoyable.
And then Singleton from Harrier flight, because I don't see Blight anywhere. And I'm not necessarily too sure what he got up to. But anyways, I took off and reacted to the reports of the Schnell boats and managed to find one, launched some rockets into it, damaged it before I returned back to base for some repairs, took back off in air-to-air configuration, and that's when I responded to the pack of 110s coming in from the south, got in and engaged that group, and annoyingly that's when Skill shot me once and killed my engine.
Nice.
Because
that's precision.
Because to be fair, if you shoot a Mustang once, it always goes for the engine.
All right. Anyone else?
Merlin. So
Yeah,
we
Merlin, go ahead.
Team of Spitfires, we took off and did some patrol west. We got reports of a Schnell boat, which we took down with cannons. Some of us went back to base to rearm, refuel, and then we responded first to reports to the northeast, which turned up to be only fighters, so we disengaged. Then there were engagements on the west. I think someone managed to get Red Zero in the clouds west of the island. Shrek was on the south and engaged the Spitfires. Then I rejoined him. Shrek was engaged in Mosquito South. I rejoined him, and I managed to shoot down one alley. And then there was a big furball over the island with the Kerfurst and the Doras. Bit of luck, I managed to pepper Jigsaw. I took a bit of damage from I don't know who, and I made it back safely. Red Track.
Yeah, Shrek here. So patrolling west, I saw those decoy fighters, turned off them, and then saw the mosquitoes coming in from the south, engaged them, shot one down, kept pursuing others, and then I went Winchester and got shot and crash landed as I was landing. And that was my fun day.
Good job, boys.
Arty and Puffin. I took off and basically did reconnaissance in the first part of the mission, identifying the Schnell boats because they were shooting at me as I passed over them, and also marked where the U-boat was and called in guys to look at that. Then once we started getting calls that there were incoming fighters, I reconfigured into air-to-air, went out and flew, didn't actually shoot anybody down, but got in a few dogfights, and particularly the dogfights over the main island. I was managing to, by and large, outturn anybody, but not get guns on them. I was damaged by a couple of people, but survived to land back at the base.
Well done, guys. A good mission. First use of the Mozzie. Didn't show its strengths off, but we're brand new to it. So there you go. Any final thoughts before we head off?
Good fun mission. Very much enjoyable.
Excellent news, boys. Right. I will see you whenever I see you next.
For those who may be concerned, I'm currently night landing with no fuel and 1,000,000 holes.
Go on then, let's have a look.
Like my engine's dead.
Just making it back now.
I'm actually
bring it in.
somehow still spinning my engine on just MW50.
Go on then. The world's watching.
Hey, Cap.
Hello.
Cap, yes,
Dan.
sir. I've got 3 things coming into you.
Send those beauties.
Whenever.
How did you get all the... Have you seriously got all the way back?
Well,
you did it.
We'll see.
Because that thing has no fuel. I'll tell you
The
that.
mission was designed that everybody should have been able to get back as far as Rota. You wouldn't get back to Anderson Air Force Base where you took off, but you should just have reached Rota.
No, I'm at Anderson.
Oh, well done.
I got the F2 view of Squirtle if anyone wants to.
I'm watching.
I'm watching it.
Oh, close.
He made it all the way back to Anderson.
Uh-oh. Come on, baby.
Cockpit doesn't look as nice as the Mozzie's got.
Ooh, running out of airspeed.
You got it. You got it.
My Mozzie cockpit didn't look very nice.
Oh, you got this.
Mine looked a bit burny.
Nice. Lovely with that UV light.
And... Zap, zap, zap. Look at that. One
I
man
think my
made it
tires
back.
are popped.
Well done.
One
Don't
man
get
made it
sad.
back.
Look
Good
at all
job,
those
Cyril.
oil cans with paraffin and a wick sticking out.
You watch him flip it over and blow up.
I think my
Bring it-
tires are definitely popped. My brakes aren't really working.
See if
But
he
it's
brings
okay.
it to a stop. You got it.
The runway is long, so it's fine.
Oh, your engine just died.
Ah, look at that.
Good job,
That was
Squirrel. You freaking made
timing.
it back.
Someone made
Good
it
job.
back. Squirrel, well done. I'm shooting the guys down. Right, I definitely have to head off now. See you guys.
Excellent.
See ya.
See you later.